this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use the beautiful new JND395 Pear Tree Bauble die set, along with the JND399 Mistletoe, to make a beautiful simple card here with two of these really elegant hanging baubles. Very, very simple to achieve. So to start with, we're going to use a square of coconut white card, and I've already cut this using the outside die from the Some Snowflakes die set. But it's actually, if you don't have that set, it's actually a 6-inch square. But I love this because it gives this beautiful dotted pattern all the way around it, which just looks so nice on the finished card. It adds that little sort of touch of class to the end. So we're going to take then, just from the Pear Tree Bauble, this circular sort of wreath die, and in this you'll notice there's sort of 4 voids. Those are sort of top markers if you want to get them into the right place. So we're going to put that down evenly on this square of card and use a little bit of Craft Artist low tack tape to hold that into place, and we'll run that through our machine and we will cut that. And when we've cut that, we will get this beautiful pear tree all the way around it, and you see sort of the top points there. So now what we want to do is to add some gold behind that, and what I've actually done is to give me a twofer, I've taken a piece of gold card and I've cut the same circle, so the plain circle from the pear tree set, so this one, out from the gold card, which means that I have a piece to go behind, but also I could use this in front if I wanted to, or I can use that for another project. You'll find that this fits exactly with the Mistletoe bells die set, the square, so it actually gives you a beautiful piece for that. So we'll actually be using that in one of the other demos or one of the other videos. So I'm just going to turn that one over, and I'm just going to take my fine glue applicator and simply put a fine line of glue all the way around the outside, and then again all the way around the inside of that circle. I don't want to use spray glue for this because I don't want to make the whole back sticky. You can do that if you want to use a whole square, whereas I think just using the circle works better. So I'm just going to mould that glue in a little bit and give that a firm press down. If I turn that over, then you'll see I've got that beautiful gold showing through. And again, you could just put a simple sentiment on that, a little collection of flowers. It's just absolutely stunning. We want to add a little bit of glitz and glamour onto this, so we're going to use some of the Craft Artist Crystal Snow, which is the beautiful chunky recycled plastic glitter. And to do this, I'm going to add glue all the way around. Take that little bit of tape off there. So again, using my fine glue applicator, just run all the way around the edge. You don't have to be neat, it doesn't have to be a perfect line. The glue dries completely clear, and the glitter is completely clear and very chunky, so you don't need that perfect line. So we'll just go around here, and what you do is move your work, not yourself. That makes it a lot easier than trying to go all the way around. So effectively what I'm doing is I'm doing this in quarters. So I'm doing a quarter, moving the card and doing the next quarter. And that makes it so much easier. So we'll just go around and meet up this last section. And again, as you can see, I'm not doing it neatly. The glitter will hide a multitude of sins. And this is so crunchy, it just really, really works. Again, if I bring in the finished card, you'll be able to see here just how beautifully that works around the outside. So you can use a tidy tray or bring in a spare piece of card. I've got a spare piece of card here. Put it on and shake the glitter all over, and it will simply stick where the glue is. So nice and easy. Tap off the excess and leave that to dry. And that will take about half an hour to dry fully. So we need to pop that to one side, let that dry, and we'll put our spare pieces back. And what we need to do now is to cut our baubles, but I'll bring in a piece I've already cut and glittered. So you can see here, once it's dry, hopefully you're getting all that beautiful sparkle. Again, it makes it look so expensive. And again, this is something that none of the card shops, none of the purchase cards can match that level of shine and shimmer on a project. So now we want to do our baubles. So I'm going to bring in a piece of white card, again, coconut white essential card. And this time I'm cutting both of the baubles. So you want to do each one in turn. Let's take that little bit of black out. So you would simply, again, take a long piece of tape, pick up the inner bauble, allows you to float on the outside of the plain separate line. We put that down and cut that, and that will give us this beautiful bauble here. We then do exactly the same with the other bauble, and it gives us this beautiful one with the season's greetings running through it. So you don't need to sentiment this card, it's hanging in the bauble, or you could choose to use 2 of this one and put your own sentiment on. And using the plain outside die, again, this time onto a piece of the gold, and I'm using the new gold satin card, again from Craft Artist. We would cut that, and we'll cut 2 of those to give us our 2 sections like that. Now, I would normally use spray glue, but I know a lot of people aren't comfortable with spray glue. And so what we can do instead is to use the Craft Artist glue glaze. So all you need to do is use the wand that's in there, and this is in a lip gloss container. So it's very easy to apply your glue, and I'm just putting it randomly over on the pears and then just around the edge of the frame. You can go and put this on the edges of the leaves or wherever. You can actually even wipe the wand over it. It's a quick grab glue, and it's a completely flat glue, so none will squidge out. So put the end of the bauble together, which is the easiest way to do it. Make sure it's matched at the top, and just press with the flat of your hand, which will give you one perfectly stuck and glued bauble. Now I'm going to use a little bit of baker's twine. This is available from the Art of Craft, in this beautiful grey colour. So we're going to make a loop, thread the loop through the top, just like this, open the loop and take the 2 cords through and pull it closed, and it gives us a beautiful pull. And that would make an absolutely stunning. If we added a little bit of the mistletoe, it would add an absolutely, if we fold that underneath, beautiful gift tag for a present. Absolutely stunning. So again, we're going to need 2 of those, and we've got those here, and we're going to hang and put our baubles on, but we're also then going to add on our mistletoe. So I'm going to show you how I do the mistletoe. So I've got a piece here again of coconut white card. Again, this is from the Craft Artist Essential range, and for this one I'm just using the 2 largest sprigs. So you can place them quite nicely down, as you can use this as a card front again. So what I've done with this one is I've cut this to 4x6 so that I can use it to make a nice card front. Tape the dies down. We simply then add them to your die cutting machine, add your top plate on, and I'm just going to cut these off camera so that you can see how beautifully they cut and ready for the next stage. So I'm just running them through backwards and forwards, and then we'll pull those out, and you can see there they're beautifully in place. So leave those in place and remove your tape, and then I'm going to bring in lime and kiwi from the Craft Artist Gold Fusion range. So take a little bit of lime, and I'm just going to randomly go over the back of the die like that. I'm going to then take kiwi and go all over. So what I was doing was making sure with the lime that I had it in a few places to add some shading, whereas with the kiwi I'm going all over. So really nice and simple, and you could colour the whole piece so that you can use it for another project, or just do it like this. It does look beautiful. Pop out our die, and just to show you here, if we put that onto a piece of white card, we've got the most beautiful piece. And again, you could put more of the poinsettia on there. Poinsettias on there. Put some flowers in the middle. It makes a beautiful background. So all I need to do now, I've taken myself a blank piece of card that's slightly larger. I'll just show you here. And I've coloured around the edge, again with a mixture of the lime and of the kiwi, so that I've got a beautiful piece to balance it together. And we're just going to pop those away. So make sure we click those closed down. And we pop out our mistletoe. And what you'll see when we do this is we've got that beautiful white edge all the way around with the stunning colour going through. So just nice and simple, just like that. And all we would do is add some berries on, as we have white berries on mistletoe. So I would just take again some of my Pearl Dimension in white. You could use red or silver, whatever colour you want. And I'm just going to add a few little berries onto here. There's always one in the middle of the joint. There we go. We'll do our second one. So in the middle between the two flowers, and then the places that I've designed in the die to hold the berries. And again, in the mistletoe set, there is a little die which will cut you berries if you want to do that, if you want to go completely papercraft based. But I like adding that little bit of dimension, and you could use stick-on pearls as well. So I'm just going to move those to one side to dry. So it takes about half an hour for those to be touch dry and about 24 hours to be postage dry. So I'm going to bring in now two that I've already cut. And again, you can choose however you want to do these. I'm just going to turn these, and I think this time I'm going to put them at the top as if the baubles are hanging from it. So on one of them, I'm going to clip off this little section here. And that's because when I put them together, they will merge together. So we'll take these. Always struggle when I'm doing a video. Turn them on the back. And I'm using Craft Artist glue in this easy squeeze applicator with the fine nib. And just a little dot of glue on each leaf and a few along the stamen. So just going along there, nice and simple. Don't worry too much. Okay. So we have those nicely glued. Make sure you put your pin back in. And I'm going to arrange one to one side and the other to the other. And you see now why I take that second one away. Let's just get those matching up. There we go. And once I'm happy, palm of your hand is one of the best tools you can use. But you see there, I would have that duplicating over this little one here. So what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of glue to that. Pop it to one side. I will add that onto one of the baubles. So we're now going to turn our piece over to the other side, and I'm going to reveal the tape underneath, just being a little bit careful. Oops, one of my holly's fallen off. And we then have our baubles. So I'm going to take the one that just has the pears on it and take one strip of double-sided tape. I'm using 2mm down the centre, and we'll arrange that on to a point we're happy. Pull it to the top and tuck it underneath so that it's grabbed onto by, you should have given that a little bit longer to dry with the glitter on there, by the foam tape. I'm then going to take the second bauble, and this time I'm going to add a double layer on. So I'm going to double over a piece of tape, so I have it sitting that little bit more proud. Again, take the protective sheet off here and add that to the centre. I'm then going to arrange that bauble so it's hanging higher, and again pull the string to the top, turn it over and tuck that on so it's nicely glued down by the foam tape. This is a lot easier than trying to glue them at the back. So nice and simple. Then all we need to do is to reveal the remainder of the foam tape that is on here. And I put a little bit in the middle just to stabilize it. There we go. Take our piece of card that we've coloured, and this just brings that beautiful green shade in that we used and adds that little bit of gold sort of flick. And then I can take my extra little bit of mistletoe and just use it there to cover over where that join is. And we've got that just nice and simple there. So here I've got a card blank that I've already put together. This is a 7x7 card blank with mats and layers of coconut white and gold on. A little bit of the Craft Artist glue in the New Easy application tube. Again, check, because we want this as a top fold to take the weight, and place that evenly on. And there we have our beautiful hanging baubles within our wreath. So there is the one we've just made, and here is our original. And each time I've used the mistletoe in a different place. But a beautiful, quite simple card that has lots of elegance and shine.